Hey everyone, it's Dr. Rick, founder of Herbal 411, and I am taking a quick hike out at Poplar Creek Forest Preserve. I'm waiting for my wife to finish up her hours, and I decided to come here instead of open my computer. I'll get to you guys in a second. Those of you who are reaching out to me on Get Healthy. Get Healthy is my platform that I use with my private practice. I have a virtual practice integrative medicine, and that usually means I use medicines when necessary, but I use a whole bunch of herbs and nutrition and different types of exercise and mindful practice to control disease. If we can control disease, then you don't need to take any medicines. But we have to honor the data. So I have some patients that see me that bring a whole crap load of vitamins. And that's okay, as long as it's not breaking the bank. I have athletes, I have non-athletes, but if you take a whole bunch of vitamins, but yet you still have disease as manifested on the tests that we order, or the imaging tests, that means blood or imaging, then what good is the supplements that you're taking or the nutrition practice that you're doing? So it's important to use the data to figure out, okay, what has helped with humans and this disease process in the past? And then how do you apply medications? Because I do think medications are important when it fails, when your conservative attempt with exercise, nutrition, and supplementation for deficiency fails. If it fails, or you get injured with your exercise, or you don't lose weight with your nutrition practice, then it's important to reassess and figure out what's going on. I usually tell my patients to change things for 3 months and then repeat tests, or 6 months and repeat testing. Data is always important, whether you use a Whoop or an Oura, or I like the Morpheus strap, or just measure your cortisol level. It's important to get metrics, initiate change, repeat metrics. If you're just saying to take supplements of any sort because you saw it on the biggest podcaster and it's popular and he's selling it at a discount, I don't know. There are some things that are kind of just foolish. There are some things that make sense, and if you can get a pretty decent deal, okay, but you have to apply it to you, and if it's not helping you as per the data that we review, then forget it. Ultimately, everybody has to have the life that makes them live happy, disease-free, independent till 100. If we use that as our target, then at least we know what we're in for. If you have a whole bunch of disease going into that, well, don't fret, we'll get you there some way. But if you don't have disease and you're young, God bless you, but you really have to preserve that, because starting a small business sucks. A lot of stress, and it's challenging. But all of us have to take the stress that we're encountering, whether it's driving, like my UPS drivers or FedEx guys, or travel like I do to Indiana, an hour plus each way. That's a stressor that you have to face every single day. If you have an abusive relationship, if you work at a place where you're the only one that puts in the effort, everybody else just sits around, well, that's not good, but that's a stressor that you have to encounter. That's not fun to look forward to. And we all have to contribute to the universe and the betterment of our society, but if you're being battered day in, day out, that's just too high of a stress. You have high stress, a little bit of exercise, probably poor diet because you're answering all that cortisol that's robbing you of testosterone and estrogen. That's totally off balance. So I would say, getting back to why I started talking about walking in the woods, there are benefits to just starting up a walking program. If you're a couch potato, move. There's nothing worse than just inactivity. And inactivity, if you look at the disease processes, heart attack, cancer, and stroke or neurodegenerative disorders, inactivity accelerates all three. So don't do that. And if you're not sure how to break that stagnant lifestyle, then you get help, or at least you get walking. I know help costs money. Personal trainers cost money. Registered dietitians cost money. There's a lot of data, like you're surfing now, a lot of data on the internet. You just have to figure out what's smart, what's downright dumb, and then what will help you in your first stage. Everybody tries to say, I'm going to lose 100 pounds. That always happens for New Year's, and then it fails in 2 weeks. So, and then we're constantly reminded, if you go to your doctor's office and you get put into the algorithm of you're too heavy, your blood pressure is too high, your cholesterol is too high, and you're now diabetic. So if you have those diseases, you get one medicine after the next medicine after the next medicine. The standard doc will usually give you 3 months, but very little guidance as far as I am concerned. And not my patients. I always would spend extra time to empower them to move. And I started these videos because working for an industry, I can't spend an hour and then get $33 or $39 for that hour, because all that goes to the hospital and I get my paycheck. They're gonna say that I'm a liability because I'm not making any money. So yes, $39.95 paid by Medicare for a visit. And that visit could be 15 minutes, it could be an hour. I try to get as much empowerment as possible within that small window. We're supposed to cut off conversation at 15 minutes, and that's 4 patients an hour. That kind of breaks even. I just find that's kind of, in private practice, that's kind of rude. People are going to you because of your expertise, and who can inspire somebody in 15 minutes? This video is more than 15 minutes, but in the immediate care, it's totally different. People are succinctly there for a disease process, a suffering symptom, and I listen to the symptom and then I move forward. If I have somebody who has the same symptoms over and over again or is just suffering, I'll try to spend extra time and encourage them to change or find a coach. But anyway, the idea is there is a lot of hospitals out there. There are a lot of prescription medicines out there. So doctors can rescue you. But I challenge you to change your life as best as you can. Take advantage of what's available. This is free. A lot of park districts are free in the state of Illinois. I'm not sure out of other states, but your tax dollars at your town or your city pay for things, and sometimes you can get out. Path, a place, a shelter, but get out. Walking is always the beginning, but like me, if you're walking, let's see, I'm now 20 minutes into this, although my video is only run for the last half of it. That's 20 minutes, that's great. I don't know how many steps I've done, but it doesn't matter. I wanted to get out and see sun. That's why it's so cool to be in nature. Everything slows down, blood pressure goes down, pulse rate goes down, the beginning of longevity. So regardless, if you are a walker, okay, but don't stop there. Walking and cardiovascular fitness is important, and resistance is also important. That means building muscle, specifically compound movements. I don't like working biceps. I don't like working triceps or calves. I think that's a waste of time. I think you can get a workout of those little targeted muscles when you do a compound movement. As far as what is a compound movement, I've got other videos that I'll probably shoot in the next week or two. So please consider subscribing. And if you need a doc and you're not getting anywhere with your own doc, then consider joining my practice. It is a membership-based practice, so one fee up front for the year, and then we usually charge insurance going forward with every visit. But my visits are about an hour to 2 hours. Today we had a 2-hour visit, but I think my patient today is already doing great. So the bad business model is that if I get everybody healthy that joins my practice, they don't need me anymore. So my practice will go smaller and smaller. But the thing is, there's so many people that are sick. And truthfully, if you just use medicines to save your life, I think that's fair. Procedures, medicines, devices, no question, they do help. But if you don't make any other changes, you'll become an indentured patient. You've heard of indentured servants? Indentured patients never can leave. You'll always be on medicines unless you change your life. So activities will help. If you're not sure what to do, follow my videos, subscribe, and I'll be talking about them coming up. So I think that even after Dean Ornish's land-breaking trial that he found, you can reverse coronary artery narrowing. At that point in time, everything flipped on its head as far as we used to think. Elevated cholesterol, narrowed arteries, you're stuck with them. It's only a matter of time before the heart attack occurs. Now we show it reverses. And if it wasn't for his data, but his is vegan and low fat and group therapy and yoga, which is all great. I just can't maintain vegan low fat. I'm carnivore and I've got my cholesterol down without a statin. Don't tell my cardiologist. without a statin and only using red yeast rice and berberine. So my cholesterol is down lower than it was when I was a vegan. So there's ways to manipulate and find your way. If you are on your own, good luck. There's a lot of good information, but you have to sift through and see what is credible or not. And if you're not on your own, God bless you. Keep on hitting your gym, hitting the trail, hitting the kitchen counter with chopping up food, and avoid all the standard stuff. Standard stuff would be highly processed or ultra processed foods or inactivity and sedentary life. Don't do that. Even if you're injured, don't do that. So thank you for watching at this point in time. Get outside, join a group, stay active. You got 5 months before it gets cold again. And I'll see you at the next video.